Hey cuties, PeachY here, welcome back to a new video, and in this video we finally have some updates for new episodes coming out very soon, some new characters returning, and a bunch more, so stay tuned and let's get into it. So thanks to @TheMonsterHigh series on Instagram for giving us all a heads up for these new episode descriptions and updates that were found on Rotten Tomatoes. So I actually went and checked myself, and it's true, they have descriptions for new episodes, for 4 new episodes, which means 2 little mini stories in one episode, because as you know, there's always like a side A and side B to every episode, which makes up the 20-minute runtime. Let's start off with episode 8. The release date is on March 11th, so next month, and the A story is about the whole Draculaura giving Claude enchanted shoes, which is what we saw exactly happen in the clip that I made a video about in the last Monster High series video. That's the clip that they posted on their YouTube channel. It's, you know, where she gives him enchanted shoes by the boogeyman, Twyla's dad, and then he wants to take him off, but he can't. So that is actually great, because that means that since that episode we already saw a clip of one of the, 2 sides, that means that the whole episode will air very soon, again on March 11th. So that's awesome. It means it's already done. And then for the B side, the title is Pyramid Schemes, and the synopsis that they posted on Instagram is actually bigger, and it's longer and more in depth than what I found on Rotten Tomatoes. So I'm not sure what that's about. It's weird because all of the other descriptions from the episodes, it's a copy and paste, from what they posted on Instagram. This is the only description that's different. So maybe it's faked, maybe it's inaccurate, maybe they just wrote in Nefra coming back to make it sound better. I'm really not sure. Maybe it's true. Hey, I don't know. It's just weird that the description that they posted on Instagram is different than the one that I found on Rotten Tomatoes, which is the source of all these descriptions. So it's just weird. But anyway, the actual synopsis goes: with tryouts for the school play coming, Cleo is excited to finally get the role of Cleopatra now that Nefra is studying abroad and can't audition. But when Nefra suddenly returns unannounced, Cleo panics and hastens to outdo her sister by creating a superior costume and beating her out for the lead role once and for all. So, and here's the synopsis on Rotten Tomatoes. Cleo wants the lead role in a school play and raids her family ancient tomb for a perfect superior costume. So right away, there's a definitely like differences between the 2 synopses. I mean, the Rotten Tomatoes one says it's very simple. It's a school play, and she raids the family's ancient tomb for a perfect superior costume. And then what they posted is Nefra comes back unannounced, and she has to create a superior outfit. So there's a couple of inconsistencies, but again, maybe they just found the longer in-depth descriptions somewhere else. I really don't know. Maybe they just had prior knowledge. I don't want to, disregard anything yet, because it could be true that Nefra comes back in this episode, and the Rotten Tomatoes description just didn't really couldn't fit that in that small little description box. I don't know, but this is what we got. And in any case, Nefra is coming back for sure. We have gotten to see her little teaser in the Cleo Denial music video, so she is coming back. Like, sooner or later she is coming back for sure. That's like a fact. That's a fact. That's not like theory, speculation. That's a fact. She is coming back, but it's just, I'm not sure if it's in this episode or in another episode, although it would make sense if she would come back in this episode, since the description that they posted, it really feels like that would be a perfect way of, for what they could do with the episode. Pyramid Schemes, the title. So I kind of feel like this is what's gonna happen. She's gonna come back in the episode, but again, I'm not sure. Next up, we have episode 9, also releasing on March 11th. The side A title is What's Up, Watsy? Synopsis reads: Frankie doesn't want Watsy to leave for dragon migration, so they amp up the fun to try to convince him to stay. And then side B's title is So Familiar. Synopsis reads: Draculaura must discover her familiar to open a witchcraft codex and hone her powers. So that's very interesting. The side A story sounds like a pretty fun and simple story, probably not too plot heavy. And then side B with Draculaura, trying to find her familiar. Interesting. What could that be? Who could that turn out to be? Or maybe it's a new pet, and maybe I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's Confabulous because I think she already has him as a pet, but maybe it's like a new pet, or maybe it's like a new character, or maybe it's like I don't know, could be anything. Could be I don't know. I'm not too like I don't know too much about vampire lore, so I don't really know like what's a familiar, I guess. Wait, no, I think I only heard that term like in Twilight once, which is not a good representation for vampires, so I'm very sorry. My knowledge is very screwed up. I only know Twilight as a reference for vampires. But that sounds very awesome. So we're gonna get to see her, explore her witchcraft a little bit more. So that's great. I can't wait to see what happens in that side of the episode. Next, we have episode 10. The release date is a week later, I'm assuming on March 21st. The title for side A is Crushed. The synopsis reads, Frankie bottles up their feelings after not making the fear-leading team and causes unintended electrical outbursts. Then side B, the title is Horror Scare. Synopsis reads, conflicting predictions from a new app say a visit from Cleo's favorite influencer will either be amazing or a disaster. So for side A, it's all about Frankie being upset because they didn't make it into the fear-leading team, which we already know that Toralei and Draculaura are in the fear-leading team because obviously we had that whole one episode where Toralei threatened to expose Draculaura's witchcraft. So we already know they're in a team together, and so maybe that's why Frankie wanted to try out, but they didn't make it for whatever reason. And so because I guess they don't feel comfortable about saying it to anyone, or they feel ashamed or embarrassed, they bottle up their feelings, which means they cause a lot of unintended electrical outbursts. So that's gonna be interesting. I hope we get to see more of them all together and see what it's all about. Then for side B, it's about the prediction from a new app that says Cleo is gonna get a visitor from their favorite influencer, which, by the way, who is her favorite influencer? We don't know. All we know, like in the last episode where Cleo was talking about, TikTok, or what's the equivalent of TikTok, fear talk in Monster High. They wanted to grow their following, and so we really never found out who is actually like her icon. So that's going to be interesting. Who is her icon and who's going to come visit her? Because it could be amazing or a disaster. So that's also going to be amazing. I can't. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see what happens. And I'm also just really happy that we get to see more Cleo in these episodes. Like, she's getting more spotlight, Next up, we have episode 11, and the release date is also assumingly a week later on March 28th. The title for side A reads Overprotective, and a synopsis reads, after misguided efforts, Claude learns being a good brother means more than just protecting his sister. And then side B title is Flaunt Your Skeleton. The synopsis reads, Gulia's dream and nightmare is about to come true when she must perform for her superstar, Skelly Vonderbone. So for side A, it's all about Claude finding out and figuring out how to be a good brother, I guess, because so far we haven't really seen them interact too much. The last interaction we saw was in the new episode clip, where it's about Draculaura giving Claude enchanted shoes, and in like a really short little scene, before they're dancing, Claudine is actually Claudine who's actually like trying to make sure that Claude is okay, because he's in a new universe, so multiverse, whatever, dimension. so and that's really sweet. So I guess here it's going to be flipped, and it's going to be about Claude trying to do his best to perform his brotherly duties, which again, I guess he's trying to navigate and see what that really includes, and how he's supposed to go over them. So I hope that's gonna be so nice. I can't wait to see their bond strengthen. And then for side B, it's about Gulia. Finally, we're getting more Gulia time, and Gulia's dream. It's interesting that they specifically write that Gulia's dream and nightmare. So I guess they mean that ironically, because nightmare is like not a bad thing, maybe. I don't know, but like from what it sounds, is that she wants to perform for her icon superstar, Skelly Vonderbone, which we have seen concept art a really long time ago. and I made a video about it. I'm not sure if it's still up, the video, or it got taken down. I think it's still up, so if you search for it in the playlist, I'm sure you'll find it. But basically, it's about Skelly it's a new character, Skelly Vonderbone, not related to Skelita, I don't think, but they are both skeletons, technically, so, but it's a new skeleton character, which is amazing. She looks really amazing in her concept art, so maybe it's like an X Factor or like America's Got Talent kind of situation. Maybe she's like a Simon type character. That would be iconic. That would be ridiculous. So let's see if it's like a competition or something. Very, very interesting. I can't wait to see what that's all about, because we did hear a little bit about that in when Ghoulia had like a little scene at the beginning of Nightmare Nightmare, I believe. Like they had an interaction with Ghoulia and the rest of the gang before they went to Dracula's winter chateau and they met Abby. Or maybe that's not what she talked about. I don't know. But anyways, it's happening and it's really exciting. On IMDb, if they had any updates on episodes, and they don't have any updates on the episodes and synopses that we just read in Rotten Tomatoes, so that's interesting. But they do have this new episode that's listed for season 2, episode 8, and the title is Ghouls Night Out. It's supposed to come out on Tuesday, June 20th this year. Season 2? Okay, maybe they just like, it's a bug and they were supposed to, it's a typo and they meant season 1, but even then, none of the titles we read already in this video from Rotten Tomatoes is called Ghouls Night Out. So this is a completely new episode, if it is an actual episode, that's coming out for season 2 or season 1. So that's very interesting. Now, of course, we do have some updates for voice acting castings for new characters, returning characters. But as we all know by now, anyone can edit IMDb. So take it with a grain of salt. There's always a chance that it could be true, but for 9 times out of 10, it's probably not true. So let's go through all these new listings. For Monica Decay, Monica Decay yelps. I guess she's maybe Ghoulia's sister in this generation. I don't know. Again, it could be it could just be fake. She's played by Lillian Mummy. Then we have Conan Gray. Isn't he like a singer? He's gonna play Kieran Valentine. And again, interesting. Kieran Valentine. I don't know if he's gonna come back. Then we have Hovan Bridges playing Sir Boogeyman. So that would be Twyla's dad. We have Megan Gage, who's playing the twins sisters, Meality and Persephone Pomfrey. Wait, is Pomfrey their last name? Pomfrey. I never knew that. Wow. Is that accurate, or is it like, I didn't know that was a thing. So the Werecat twins, we have seen their concept art, so they are coming. So this could have some truth to it. Then we have AIM EP3 playing Skelita Calaveras. Now again, Skelita, we also saw her artwork a long time ago, so we also know she's coming for sure. She's even getting her own doll released very soon as a special edition Squultimate Secrets Dia de los Muertos doll. So she's coming, definitely. But again, if this is going to be the voice actor for Skelita, I'm not sure. And then lastly, we have Madison Beer playing her Monster High character, Madison Fear. Obviously, if you don't know, Madison Beer voiced, I think she sung one of the Monster High songs, and she was in the Monster High music video. And they even made a special one-of-a-kind Monster High doll of her character, Madison Fear. So this is all canon from G1, so maybe she's going to make a cameo. That could happen because she is canon, you know. It could happen, or it's not true. Again, I don't know if it could be. Out of these listings, for me, the ones that are definitely true are Meality, Persephone, the Werecat twins, and Skelita. Those two we know for a fact they are coming. It's just a matter of when and where. And then the other ones, Kieran Valentine, Sir Boogeyman, Monica Decay, and then Madison Fear. Those I'm not sure, but if any, I feel like Madison Fear has a very high likelihood of maybe happening. So yeah, let's just again take it with a grain of salt. It doesn't stop there though, because we do have some more listings. We have Christina Valenzuela playing Claudia Wolf / Widona Spider. Then we have Azalea Banks playing Catty Noir / Catty Noir. but the N of noir is small. What? And then we have Katy Perry playing Serena Von Boo, and she's a freaky fusion character. Okay, so right off the bat, Katy Perry, let me tell you, she's not gonna voice a minor character in a Monster High. She's not. That would be cool. Like, yeah, but remember Kim Petras was supposed to voice Catty Noir, and now they listed Azealia Banks voicing Catty Noir. Like, if Kim Petras is not voicing a character, Katy Perry for sure is not going to voice a character on this series. I'm just saying, I'm just gonna point it out right away already. It's just not going to happen. So that's not going to happen, but maybe the actual character might come back, just voiced by a different voice actor. And then speaking of Catty Noir, again, Kim Petras not voicing Catty Noir, so I don't know who Azealia Banks is, and if they would maybe voice her. I don't know. I mean, we've had 2 listings now of Catty Noir. I do feel like maybe Catty would come back to some degree. I feel like maybe that would be awesome. I wouldn't mind. And then the most likely, to me, the most realistic one here that looks realistic as of happening, in terms of happening, like actually, is the Claudia Wolf listing that's played by Cristina Valenzuela. That name rings a bell. I believe, isn't she like the one who played Ladybug, Miraculous Ladybug, Marinette or something? Or maybe I'm mixing that up with another person with a similar name. I don't know. But I think she's a voice actress, so I think her voicing Claudia is very likely, especially because Howleen and Claude are already, they already returned for G3. I feel like Claudia returning is not too far of a fetch. I feel like that could happen. It's very likely. But then also her voicing Widona Spider, I'm not sure about that. We haven't heard anything, so I'm not sure, but her voicing Claudia, definitely I see that happen. In other news, apparently we had this listing found on a Target system that said we're getting a Monster High Cupid doll, but that turned out to be quickly fake, thanks to Cleo's Nylonder story. They shared this photo by someone on Twitter saying that they actually work in Target, and they searched and this listing is not found, so it was fake. By the way, the initial quote finding of this leak was by @the News on Twitter, so I don't know if they're really to be trusted too much on relying sources, because usually they're right, but again, they spread this and it's fake. I mean, I don't know. So Cupid, as of right now at least, is not happening. She's not getting a doll, but maybe in the future she will get a doll. I don't know. I feel like that could happen. And lastly, this is actually very last second. I just popped into Instagram and just saw that the Toy Book posted this about Monster High going on live tours, like musical kind of. So that's very interesting. And I posted on my Instagram the full, the full article that the Toy Book wrote. So check it out there. I'm not gonna read it all. It's really not too interesting. The only really part of news that they included here is that it will include your favorite ghouls like Frankie, Claudia, and Draculaura, surrounding the plot of Monster Ball, which is what the doll line is probably based on. And we also know that there's going to be an episode surrounding the Monster Ball theme as well in the Monster High animated series coming out soon. So it's very interesting that they took the same plot line from the Monster Ball and put that into now this kind of live tour show that will happen soon. I don't know when, but Monster High Live going on tour. It's very interesting. I never thought we would get something like this. Monster High on Broadway. Just imagine. If the live tours go well, who says it couldn't make it to Broadway? So very interesting. Let's see how the costume designs look, how the set designs look. It's going to be very interesting to see who they also cast for the characters, and because it's obviously not going to be the same casting like as the actors who played the characters in the live action movie. Those are going to be 2 separate entities. So very interesting. I never thought this would come. Like I literally never in a million years would I think we're going to get Monster High Live on tour. You can just go into a big hall, like a big theater, and they're just There's just actors playing Monster High characters. Like, I've never, that's amazing. Okay, so, and that was the video. We had so much to go over, but we made it through. Let me know what your thoughts are. And yeah, leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already, so you don't miss out when I post more content like this coming your way daily and keeping you up to date with all the doll tea you love. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time. Stay peachy. Kisses.